Today, we hear from Matt on a different type of Twitter traffic. Welcome to Today in News Tech, our weekly extended chat where we discuss the past week of news and break down what we can learn to help our local newspaper publishers at Our Hometown Inc.
So this is just a little personal story. I was driving westbound on this road, I-80, and this happened about 5 minutes before I got to it. So this was a few weeks ago, and I was stuck in traffic for hours while they cleaned this up. It was an unbelievable crash, but I saw the smoke from a distance. I knew I was going to hit this thing, but the way this road is, it's like there's nothing out there. This is out driving towards Nevada. So there was no way for me to exit, and I just got to it.
This is a perfect example of hyper-local coverage down to the traffic accident. Yeah.
Traffic is a huge one. And this was a real problem I had. I had no idea what was going on or how long I was going to be there, but I knew it was a bad accident. And so I'm searching Google, I'm searching Facebook, Twitter, I'm searching like the local newspaper, the local TV news site. Let's take a quick poll. What do you guys think? Who do you think had it first of all the social platforms? Where was I able to find the story?
I'm going to go Twitter, of course, but I would be surprised if it didn't go somewhere else.
Yeah, I put out a poll on this on Twitter just to see what people would say. And a few people answered saying local newspaper. What happened was it definitely was Twitter, and the source was the Utah Highway Patrol. And what I saw while I was sitting there for 2 hours was the story get picked up by everyone else. So slowly the local KSL TV, they picked it up, but they were clearly quoting the Highway Patrol tweet. It was no new information. I'm like looking for new information, and I'm hoping that like the news organizations kind of tease this out and maybe interviewed, but they were simply taking this and just copied this update. And then I was watching this tweet while I'm sitting there. You can look at the thread, and they posted updates in there, 2 to 3 hours for cleanup. That came up, and then that showed up on the news sites. It's exactly what you just described. They were clearly sourcing the most up-to-date source, which was, the police. So they're obviously very active on Twitter. I think that's probably their main channel, just because it's so easy to use, great for photos, and that's a great public service that they're doing. But yeah, as a reporter, to know about that source, to follow it, so you just go to your feed, and anything from the Highway Patrol, people are going to be probably interested in.
If you want people to get used to your site being the source, you have, as a news outlet, you have to be on top of every little bit. And so going on social media, following all the local chamber of commerce, all the law enforcement, all that kind of stuff gives you all these little things. So as soon as something goes, you can attack it as some of these outlets have the TV news and things like that. They can attack it on Twitter, but they're starting to dump stuff onto their site and then tweeting that out. Maybe they'll even source from someone like yourself. Maybe you got a couple of pictures or something you've posted on Instagram, and it's tagged with the like Utah crash or whatever, and all that stuff just starts going everywhere. And so as a news outlet, you really have to have your thumb on this. So when something's breaking like this, you can get on top of it and make sure that your readership knows that you are there for them when something's hitting the fan.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, otherwise, some of these stories are so small that they don't really take off. But sometimes when there's like a fire out here or something, that'll get a hashtag. It's almost like the journalist could lead the charge on that and come up with the hashtag, find the stories, search for them, and put the hashtag, comment that hashtag on that story to kind of gather it together for people, just even that are looking on Twitter as a service. But at the same time, they're putting it on the website, they're embedding those tweets on their articles, organizing Twitter a little bit more, because it's really good about that. I've seen plenty of really interesting hyperlocal stories hit Twitter first easily. Fires and emergency stuff always seems to be there. Everyone else is kind of just following them, really.
I think it has to do something with just the ease of use, the actual way that the post happened. That's why we need to encourage all our customers that you can't really just focus on a single social media outlet, because they all have their quirks and their niches. And if you really want to have the most extensive reach possible, which gives you the largest audience, largest subscriber base, all those kind of things, you really have to have all of these social media platforms in your pocket, be able to use them to the fullest.
Today in News Tech, the podcast covering innovation in digital journalism. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter and subscribe on YouTube or any of your favorite podcast apps. We'll see you tomorrow.
At our hometown, we help newspapers build WordPress websites, design native apps, and develop digital subscription models. If you are interested in a free prototype of your publication on WordPress, go to ourhometown.com and click the Contact Us button.